Hello, welcome to Best African Movies. Alright, still on Royal Driver series. But before I continue, shout out to Achom Agnes. Thank you very much for your comment. Beauty Obi, thank you very much. Alright, I love you too. Mosin Morris, thank you for your comment, your kind words. Cassie Confident, thank you very much for staying glued to this channel. And to every other subscribers, thank you very much for staying glued. All right, I am grateful to you. I am grateful to you. Thank you very much for subscribing to this channel. And if you have not subscribed, please do so because you're missing a lot of gist from this channel. All right, you're missing a lot. So back to Royal Driver series. Prince Edochie is happy because he feels he has seen someone befitting to marry. Unknowingly to him that it is driver's plan, Egu. Amanda is not a princess from any kingdom. Alright? Prince Edochie is in a haste to get married because he feels princess has his sister wants to take over the throne from him. So for that, he just wants to get married on time. His driver's plan is really working. So for that, he has promised to present his lover. Should I call her lover now or woman? To his father, the king. He said he has seen a wife to marry, so he will present her to the king. Here it's getting more interesting. Alright, so Prince Edochie was so angry because of what his father the king said during their conversation. He feels his mother should have told him earlier. Alright, the most painful part to him is if his sister gets married before him, her husband will be the king. This really got him so worried. But the princess calmed him down, saying it might be a ploy for their parents. It might be a ploy from their parents so they can get married on time. Alright, on the other hand, Gates man is angry that no one regards him anymore as the person in charge of the gate because of Egu, the driver. Okadike's father is really happy with his son because of his friendship with Egu, the palace driver. He feels Okadike will be useful to himself instead of wasting his time drinking around. But immediately Okadike told his father that Egu is a palace driver. Papa weak. His father was thinking that Egu is one navy officer or a pilot or something, unknowingly to him that he's a palace driver. So this really made him weak. He was like, so I wasted my strength now and all of that. So on the other hand, Egu, the palace driver, had the conversation between the king and his children. So he decided to call his friend Okadike so he can seduce the princess. Alright, so that the princess will accept to marry him and eventually he will become the king. Betrayer. So the prince is so worried to the extent of calling his ex, Grace, by name. Grace told him that she's already married, that the prince disappointed her, and he continued calling different persons, but all his contact failed him. He wants to get married fast. Alright, the princess feels her parents really want them to get married by all means, but she's still not comfortable with the discussion. So she had to find out from David, her driver. But David confirmed exactly what her father said during their conversation. So Jude came to see the king. Jude is a princess, the princess's ex. Alright, so he came to see the king as he always do, even before he started dating the princess, though they are not dating anymore. Alright, so after much conversation or discussion with the king, on his way out he saw the princess, but the princess is still not happy with him. Alright, the prince also saw Jude and immediately started having issue with the princess, thinking that the princess invited Jude just to make up with him and get married because of the throne. The prince is just so worried. Everything gets him angry these days. David, the driver, decided to say hello to Amaka, or his friend, Amaka, the palm wine seller. He got to her house. You need to see the way Amaka's father embarrassed him and sent him out of his house. You know he's acting on the prince's order. Prince Edochie told him to make sure that there is distance between Amaka and David. So one of the maids now, the one that Prince Edochie is, rolling things with, he told Prince Edochie that that David is a threat to him and his throne because he is knacking the princess. Hell, this got the prince so angry. While on the other hand, the king's baby, his blood tonic, one of the maids as well, also told the king that David should be fired. But the king promised to sack David once he gets a cogent reason to do so. David don't suffer. So, because of what the prince heard from the maid concerning David, he immediately met David, warned him to stay away from the princess. Alright, with that anger, he walked up to the princess to say all sorts of things to her, but the princess advised him to always make inquiries before jumping into conclusion if he really wants to be a king. All right, this made the king what the king has been hearing about David in the palace and all of that. So this made him to summon David to find out what is really going on. Then the king warned David to be very careful if he still wants to retain his job in the palace. All right, Egu is busy. Egu is prince driver, personal driver. So he's busy carrying out his plan to he told Ukadike's girlfriend, Amanda, to act like a princess, and Ukadike himself should find a way to seduce the princess, that's Prince Edochie's sister. Alright, so he wants Prince Edochie to marry Ukadike's girlfriend, Amanda, and Ukadike himself to marry the princess. Prince Edochie finally started communicating with the fake Princess Amanda. Egu's plan is working out gradually. So Amaka, the palm wine seller, on the other hand, is not happy with her father's decision towards her seeing David. Her father has stopped her from seeing David and even commanded her that he does not want to see David even in his house. Amaka is not really happy because David is her only friend, according to her. So while Okadike, on the other hand, went to the palace, alright, Okadike, that's Eku's friend, the one that he contracted to seduce the princess. So he went to the palace with his friend, alright, acted like their company in South Africa sent them to mount a telecommunication mask in the community. Alright, so he went to the palace to discuss that with the king, and the king was really happy and saying that okay, he cannot make the decision alone, he has to involve the elders in the community as well. So Egu's plan is gradually working out for him. Prince Edochie is busy chilling with the fake princess Amanda to the extent of professing his love to her. Wow, this movie is really getting more and more interesting. Please subscribe to this channel for more gist concerning this movie. Thank you very much for watching.